Hello, hello. Okay, I'm going to check if the sound is working. Okay, yeah, I got confirmation. So let me add Leslie.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hey guys.
All right, we're getting there.
Hi.
What's up, everyone?
Okay, and I'm going to show share my screen. Okay, I hope the sound is better. Rin, I know you're listening to us, so just ping me in our Slack channel if something is going wrong. I see someone, Sofiane, complaining about echo. But meanwhile, we'll get started. So today we have 1 hour to spend together and discuss some of the technical details behind the latest Galileo upgrade, version 1 of Cronos. So we'll first go through a brief presentation that will be facilitated by me, where Calvin and Leslie will talk to us about the main features that have been introduced with this upgrade. And then we'll have a session dedicated to Q&A, and we'll take questions from either the Twitter thread that announced this AMA initially. So if you want to find it online, you can type the link at the bottom of the screen, https://crowfarm.me, ask on Twitter, or you can also, if you're watching on YouTube, post your questions in the comments on YouTube. And if you want to get there, the link is also at the bottom of the screen, crowfarm.me/ask on YouTube. So with that out of the way, let me introduce Calvin and Leslie. So Calvin is head of protocol engineering for the Cronos community of open source developers who are building the Cronos protocol itself in cooperation with members of the community in the Cosmos space, in the Ethereum space, and in other teams that contribute to bits and pieces of Cronos technology. And Leslie is head of developer relations, and in particular spends a lot of his time not only supporting app developers, but also supporting the validators and helping them through upgrades. So good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. And hi, Leslie and Kevin. I'm really pleased to have you with us.
Hello, Ken. Yeah, nice meeting everyone, and yeah, welcome you on joining this call.
Oh, absolutely, Fred. Yeah, let's get started.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So for those of you who are on this stream, by chance, or are watching the replay and are not entirely familiar with what Cronos is, let me start by summarizing the key points on the page, and then we'll talk about the upgrade. So Cronos is what we call a layer 1 blockchain. So it's a blockchain network. It's public, and it is live since November of 2021. It is today the leading EVM compatible blockchain built on the Cosmos SDK. So that means that it's compatible and interoperable with Ethereum type of blockchains like Ethereum, Polygon, BNB Chain, Avalanche, and many others. And the same smart contracts that can be deployed on those other EVM compatible blockchains also work on Cronos. But additionally, Cronos is built on the Cosmos SDK, meaning that it is able to leverage many of the features inherent to Cosmos SDK types of blockchains, such as IBC, which are very safe bridges that allow Cosmos chains to connect to each other and enable a greater interoperability than what you're normally used on other blockchain networks. So Cronos is also the name, it's the name of the blockchain, but it's also the name of the cryptocurrency that Cronos is using as the cryptocurrency, as a utility to pay for transaction fees. And so even though, so Cronos, the cryptocurrency, is not natively issued on Cronos, the blockchain, it is the cryptocurrency that Cronos is using to pay for transaction fees. And our goal in the Cronos ecosystem is to give more utility to holders of that cryptocurrency. From a technical standpoint, Cronos is a proof of authority blockchain, meaning that it relies on a limited number of validators, currently 29, to organize the consensus based on a stake that they have in the network. It offers instant finality of transactions, meaning once a transaction is confirmed, there is no going back. It offers low energy consumption, and the carbon footprint of Cronos is further reduced by offsets, meaning that overall Cronos is carbon neutral. Cronos has a strategic partnership with Crypto.com and more than 400 ecosystem partners, dev developers, infrastructure providers who are invested in the success of this chain and this ecosystem. And Cronos Labs is the organization that supports the development of Cronos as an ecosystem, of which all of us three, Kelvin, Leslie, and Ken, are part of. So with that, let's talk about the upgrade. And first, probably I'll ask Leslie to take us through when the upgrade took place, why it's called V1, and then Calvin can talk about the key improvements.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ken. Yeah, so once again, it's very happy to be here to share more with the community on our journey we have been so far. So as Ken did an intro of myself, and then I'm in charge of the developer relations. So in case if you have any question related to the Cronos developer support and also integration, feel free to contact me by the Discord channel or the Twitter DM as well. It works as well. So yeah, I think it's a relatively what a journey, since the genesis of Cronos mainnet, it has been a very incredible journey working together with many open source communities such as Cosmos SDK side and many other sub teams over there as well, and also with the validators, infrastructure providers, and of course, very important part is the dApps developers to secure and also extend the Cronos network and the ecosystem together. So I think now that when we look back, there has been already been more than almost 7 million blocks that we have been produced, which contains the activities of more than 1 million plus unique addresses and their on-chain activities. So we are referring to more than 68 million plus transactions on Cronos so far. Yeah, so ever since the Cronos has been running, we keep listening to the feedback from the users and also the DFs developer, so that we can bring that to the table, and then we can iterate with our core engineering team and improve the performance on Cronos, regardless on the network parameters level or the code base level as well. So because beside all the new features and improvement that we are going to cover in this call, as a ever-evolving blockchain, keeping our dependencies such as Cosmos SDK and IBC version up to date is very crucial. so that user will be able to enjoy the latest feature, and at the same time, they will be also be protected by the potential vulnerabilities. Yeah, and I think that is why that we have regular updates, and also we have this Galileo upgrade. So the Galileo upgrade has been a very successful upgrade, which took place back in 18th of January. So with the joint effort from the community, the apps, and the validators, the upgrade was a success, and the network has been running smoothly ever since. Yeah, so a very important point is it is an upgrade to the version 1.0. Therefore, it is indeed a very significant milestone for Cronos, since it indicates that we are moving out of beta at the binary level. Yeah, I think that is like a basic, like summarize on like what has been going through so far, and then the reason of like we're having this upgrade. And of course, the juicy part, the meat is going to be presented by Kevin later.
Sure. So first of all, thanks Ken for inviting me here. And to get started with, I want to do a great shout out to all the contributors to the contributing to the Cronos core, and also to like Cosmo SDKs, because like we're like based on that, and we benefit from there. We embrace the open source community. So let me give you some highlights on what's in this upgrade. That's I think in this upgrade, we bring many benefits to average user as well as node operators. So the first thing we have is like we have the mempool prioritization introduced. So right now, if you have using your average wallet, you will be able to set your priority fees, and then and the mempool will respect that. And also we have some new gas refund logic. And overall, like this will help scale the TPS of Cronos even further. And then to the node operators, we also have some good news for you. The first thing is we have now reduced the storage size by introducing a new Ethereum transaction indexer. So another thing is also we optimize the speed up time, startup time. So once you have the IAVL migration executed and migrated, and you will see a significant improvements from there as well. Not to mention, of course, like as I said, like we are based on the Cosmos. Yeah, in the Cosmos, we upgrade like Cosmos SDK to version 0.46, IBC also to 5.2. And there they have introduced many new features, improvements to the protocol itself, as well as some bug fixes, of course. So yeah, overall, these are some highlights, and I can explain a bit more in the later as well. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Kelvin. That's super helpful as an overview. And I think now it will be helpful to go through each of those bullet points and explain a bit more what they mean for users and for developers, and what are the implications and the benefits for them. So let's start with mempool prioritization. What does it change, and what are the implications for users and for developers?
Sure. So in the previous version, we already introduced the fee market, such that like we can have like more dynamic fee. We kept it stable right now because we realized like that's the best approach for now. But in this version, like we make this even further, like because we now have the mempool prioritization enabled. That means like if you're using your average wallet, and then you probably will already see there's a priority fee, like which is specified in the EIP 1559 standard on the Ethereum. So now if you specify those tips and also like X priority, like the chain is gonna like the mempool is gonna respect that. So what that means is like you can like if you have a higher priority fee, that means like your transaction will get prioritized by the block producer. There's those validators, and they're gonna put your transactions in earlier whenever possible. Yeah, and this is very important, right? Because like as we see before, right? For example, if there's some major NFT events minting or some new tokens launch, and then like the network will be superheat, right? Many transactions comes in. So now if you specify the priority, it will get you a better chance to get your transaction success. and able to mint, like execute a transaction. So this is more not like if you actually like trying to broadcast multiple transactions, which I understand like for some of the traders, they do that. So you do need to like calculate the priority fee a bit. But overall, I think like this could bring so much benefits to all average user, traders, all the users on Cronos right now. And then I think I can just go through the points one by one. So after apart from the Mempool prioritization,
Okay.
and
sorry,
then also
I wasn't I wasn't clear that you that you were finished. Thanks a lot. Yeah. So indeed, just like you said, let's cover the remaining points. And so the next one is not storage improvement. So if you can shed some light about that.
Sure. Yeah. So as mentioned earlier, so in this version, like we also have a custom Ethereum transaction indexer. So you can go to our documentation, like you will see like this is an opt-in feature for now. But if you want to reduce your size, especially for those node operators running an archive node, then you can actually migrate your transaction indexer to the new custom one. And from our testing, internal testing, we saw actually quite some improvements on the storage reduction on the transaction indexing data. Right. So in particular, we see like on Cronos mainnet, we could achieve like a 90% reduction of those transaction indexing, and then even a higher percentage on the testnet. And then to the overall storage, like we can still achieve like 15 to 20% or even up to 30% of reduction of the overall storage of a node. So that's saying, I think that's one great improvement. And this is, I want to say like this is just the first step of it. Like in the coming roadmap, there's already something lined up to even further like improve the storage. But I mean, at least with this custom transaction indexer, it's already like making the network more sustainable in the long run. Yeah.
Great, thanks. And finally, you mentioned that part of the upgrades are synchronized with what's happening in the broader Cosmos ecosystem in order to take advantage of all the features and improvements that come from the Cosmos community. So if you could talk about that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I mentioned about like the we underneath the dependency, we have upgraded a few of them, like including Cosmos SDK, also the Tendermint, and also the IBC Go. So one thing worth to highlight again is like in the version 0.46 on Cosmos, they have introduced the IBL fast node. So for those of you who don't know what it is, in short, basically it will help you to optimize or like speed up the query speed of your whole node. Yeah. So from also like from some internal testing, we see like we could speed up the node startup time quite significantly. And then also if you're running like RPC or other like services, there will also be benefits as well. The only caveat is like to migrate to the IVL will take you some time. But actually, we have introduced this since the last version, and then now in this version, we see all the benefits, and that's why we want to encourage everyone, especially those node operators. You really should spend some time to do this migration, and it will give you benefits in the long run. Yeah. So apart from this one, we also have some upgrades on IBC, and they have introduced some features as well. So the first thing is what we call the IBC incentivization. So right now on the IBC channel, so the relayer, basically the operator of the IBC, they need to bear part of the cost for all the IBC transaction on it. But this will no longer be the case with the incentivization, because like we'll be able to shift some of the costs to the user. And then this is actually important to the network, right? Because all those IBC operators, they are doing all the heavy job relaying. And then, so this is very important in the sustainability of the whole network. So right now, because of our channel is already created, so our incentivization is not enabled on existing channel yet. But we are also talking very close with the Cosmos team. And in the coming versions, we'll also do some channel upgrades, and then we'll be eventually enabling the incentivization completely. But if you are creating some new channels, then that you can still benefit from that. Another thing introduced in the IBC Go like later version is that they now allow you to add some BAML field to the like normal transfer. So the significance of it is like you're able to add some extra instructions or just like put some notes when you're doing this kind of transfer. And in the long run, like this will help on some app composability because like you can piggyback some extra instruction when you do a transfer. Yeah. So in the core team, like we are now looking into like how this could we could further cooperate this into the smart contract as well, so that like you'll be able to leverage these features. Yeah. And of course, there are many, like such as like when Cosmos, DK, Tendermint, IBC Go, they all ship with some improvements, update, and bug fixes as well. And we also take this opportunity to upgrade all this dependency so that we are always keeping the Cronos up to date. Yeah.
Thanks, Calvin. And I guess, yeah, let's finish by listing some of those other improvements and optimizations that are also included in Galileo V1.
Yeah, definitely. I will do it like a quick one, like here. Yeah. So first of all, I mentioned there's some update on the gas refund logic. So we now will have a minimum charge of your gas limit. For average user, it shouldn't be a concern because like your wallet should be will already like do a very smart estimation of the gas, so you won't be affected by it. Similarly, we have some optimization on the like no query. We can run gRPC concurrently, and then like some of the previous version we found some inconsistency of the RPC response, and we also fixed them as well. And then we'll also have the final state streamer introduced. So this one is not like gonna benefits immediately, but for some of the future optimization of the storage optimization, we're gonna actually leverage this feature. So this is the first step of the whole series of optimization. Oh, and one thing that this is also important for node operators or like people who are doing custom build. So previously we have a RocksDB DB support option support a while ago, but you have to build it yourself. Right now we already include that into the single binary. So basically you can choose between Go level DB and RocksDB within the same binary, and you don't need to do a custom build. So I think this is a good news to them as well. And then that's pretty much of the functionalities we introduced in this version. Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot.